Hello, this is Sharon Pierce for NDE, Near Desert Experience, NDE. And I wanted to do a little comment on something that came up in the news recently talking about water. I made a video sometime in the past where I talked about the lawsuit that was going on in the Cuyama Valley, the great carrot growers, the number one, number two corporations for raising baby carrots now, but carrots in the world. And they tried to take over the land through adjudication, which is basically evicting the farmers on the land that have more water because they want more water, and they really probably want the water underneath the carrot roots. But they took them, they tried to take their land by eviction, and the farmers said, no, we're banding together. We're going to fight you together. Small farmers, 5 acres, 10 acres, raising a few grapevines or other vegetables or cattle, feeding cattle or whatever, olives. So this is a complex matter. It's been going on for some years. And there was something that I had heard about it, and I didn't put it together with the Cuyama Valley where the carrot crisis is going on. And it has to do with the fact that back 10, 12 years ago, Harvard University in Massachusetts took it upon itself with its $1 billion of investment capital that it uses to whatever it does with those billions of dollars, invest in new research, market to people all over the world to pay money to come to the university, whatever it is, you can look it up. They used some of that money, about $7 million, to buy a ranch in the Cuyama Valley. And they bought it was about 700 acres maybe. And they expanded it to 300 acres more, so it's 1,000 acres. And they were planting grapevines and doing all of this and that to make it a better, more profitable enterprise. But that meant that they needed water. So they're big pockets, deep top pockets, and they're part of the group that wants to get at that water deeper down, deeper down, deeper down, which is not good. And so recently, and I have it right here, come back, help is on the way for Cuyama Valley's embattled small farmers. Can you read that? That was February. And this is an article in the Santa Barbara News Press, and the writer is an experienced, long-time writer covering agriculture and the land and so forth, investigative journalist named Melinda Burns. And it seems that Harvard has sold its interest in this ranch. Now the two owners of it now is the man who was managing this ranch for Harvard University as a management company. He and another wealthy man from the coast, along the coast somewhere, they've purchased this ranch, but this whole way of doing business is under fire now because the day of reckoning has come. You can't take any more water. You're down to the groundwater from 33,000 years ago. It's time to get out of the way and let the atmospheric rivers come back, and it's going to take 100 years or so or more to just keep replenishing. But a few highlights, and I'm going to put my glasses on for this. I'm reading from Ms. Burns' article. Dozens of subsistence farmers and ranchers in the Cuyama Valley, enmeshed in a water rights lawsuit filed against them by the world's largest carrot corporations, got some welcome news this month. That was last February. The presiding judge, Judge Highberger of the LA Superior Court, has issued a tentative order And I'm reading this because I think there are going to be more issues coming up in the years ahead out in the desert about how the populations want more say and control in how things are done with water. They just don't rely on the water boards anymore and the city councils and the county board of supervisors. They want to understand how these deals are being made and what it's all about. Judge Hightower has issued a tentative order that would excuse 115 Valley landowners from the 4-year-old case, also called a water rights adjudication case, because of their low water use. Many of these defendants are barely eking out a living in the vast dry ag region east of Santa Maria. That goes over almost to I-5, not to necessarily all the way to Bakersfield, but down where Interstate 5 comes down and just above the Grapevine where it meets up with 99, Highway 99. Some own small commercial vineyards, veg farms, herds of cattle. Others pump only enough water to meet their household needs. Some families go back generations in the valley. So the Highberger said he wanted to give what he called minor extractors, or small-scale water users, as much of a free pass as possible. The judge said he did not want to subject these landowners to the mandatory pumping reductions and mounting legal fees that lie ahead for the dozens of larger farming operations that are parties to the lawsuit. So this has been talked about, worked out, both sides, plaintiffs, defendants. One group of small farmers says it has already paid several hundreds of thousands of dollars in legal fees. Now, I don't think I'm going to try to show this, but that's the Highway 1, I believe it's 166, comes out of Santa Maria, goes down through into the past Twitchell Reservoir, along the Cuyama Creek or whatever it's called, through the Santa Maria Mountains. It goes along, and then it gets to a little burg. 700 people live there, but what you see is an indent in the highway where some trucks park, like Caltrans or something of that nature. It's called New Cuyama, and you go a little ways farther and you get to Old Cuyama, which is a little general store and some old houses and a poor community financially. And then it goes on over to Mariposa, and on you can get out to I-5, and that's an hour and a quarter drive once you reach New Cuyama. So it's the Cuyama Valley groundwater basin right there. In his tentative order, Highberger proposed to grant small-scale water users something else they were asking for. The right, important, he's granting rights to small entities in a lawsuit. The right to pump a little more water every year than what they have historically used on their properties. These defendants told the judge they had been careful not to waste water in the past and did not want to be penalized for conserving. I have been persuaded that allowing some upward take is rational and is consistent with the legislative intent, Highberger said. I think that giving the people who currently are minor extractors some hope that their dream homes and dream ranches can continue to be enjoyed by themselves and future generations, and that they can try to improve the economic utility of their assets will be an important stabilizing factor in this remote community. The plaintiffs are the land management companies for Grimway Enterprises, the world's largest carrot corporation, and Bolt House Farms, the second largest. They have opposed granting any extra water to any valley landowners beyond their historical use. In a January brief to the court, the plaintiffs argued that granting additional water to small-scale users in excess of their reasonable needs amounted to inequitable treatment and would constitute a windfall for some landowners at the expense of other minor extractors and water users. Picture here, if you can see it. Hold it there. That's a view of the carrot fields. The carrot fields. You don't see them from the highway. They're tucked back in behind the dry hills. The 2021 lawsuit has left most valley landowners feeling like David against Goliath. The average rainfall is 13 inches. The town of New Cuyama, population 700, gets an annual 8 inches, so on and so forth. If you didn't know it already, the definition of a desert is less than 10 inches of rain per year. So this Cuyama Valley is a desert. The water, and they're trying, and these major corporations are trying to go underneath the desert to get all the old water as far down as they can possibly go and keep going, even though 10 to 12 years ago, they began to work out the plans for the coming time when they knew, even if Washington, D.C. would not admit it, they knew that the atmospheric rivers were coming, the oceans were changing, the glaciers were melting, and the whole climate situation the environment and the climate of the environment would shift around the world. The water basin underlying the valley is immense. It covers 380 square miles and overlays 4 counties. But during the past 70 years, overpumping for industrial scale farming, first for alfalfa and now for baby carrots, has caused a steep decline in underground water levels. Baby carrots, it's a choice that has a lot of political reasons behind it, but it's been pointed out to me that they really want the water underneath the carrots. Today, the Cuyama Valley is on the state list of 21 basins in critical overdraft. Under state law, it must be brought back into balance by 2040, 14 years from now. To reach that goal, ag pumping will have to be cut in the Cuyama Valley by at least 50%, according to the local Groundwater Sustainability Agency. It was set up in 2017, 9 years ago, to come up with a plan for mandatory cutbacks. Now it will be up to Highberger to determine who gets cut and how much. Highberger said the unavoidable reductions that must be made by large farming corporations will be a clear body blow to the stability of the population and the ongoing economic health of the community. People work on those large ag farms. Giving extra water to small-scale users, the judge said, would be essentially a reward for those who feel a historic connection to the land and the community to stay there and enjoy the many charms of the Cuyama Valley. It goes on, just has a lot of more. I'll stop at that point, but you get the picture of this. Harvard is not the entity with the, what did he call it? Historical interest and fondness and memories. That's in play here. He talks about the heart and soul. What is it? Oh, the writer spoke in person to some of the farmers, and this was a little bit interesting. Roby Jaffe, who dry farms 5 acres. That means they don't have water running through it. It's a dry farm. 5 acres of wine grapes. I'm trying to figure that one out. That water has to come from somewhere. And olive trees at Conder's Hope Ranch in the foothills at the southwestern end of the valley. That's down towards Santa Maria, called the judge's tentative order. Phenomenal. I think he really understands that those of us who are minor pumpers are not the cause of the overdraft in the basin. We are the heart and soul of the valley. We want the ability to stay here and maintain our natural environment. We don't look at water as a commodity like the large growers do. I think one of the things I'm saying in these podcasts about learning how to be conscientious about the water in your community and where it comes from and where it goes and how much you're charged for it and why and who has authority over it and is it being sold out from under you at times. That's because the family, the tribal communities, especially those who've been here for a long time and they love the desert or they love the ocean side or they love the mountains, they bring heart and soul to the issue. It's lifeblood for them. And so you must, but if you're, unless you're part of the Modoc tribe or one of the other, the Mojave tribe, Chumash, and the others, you might not have the storyline even going back before your own family. So this has to integrate now. It has to come up, bubble up like the water and get modern integration into the storyline so that people can see what they're dealing with. And as that goes, they will make decisions, I would contend, that will make it a more conducive area in which to live, and they will want to live there and improve it, and populations will grow. And that is why it'll be interesting to watch the desert over the coming generations to see how it develops again. Yeah. And the tribal people are here to watch it too. I wonder sometimes what they think when they see what's happened and they see where it's all going. And I believe they do see where it's all going. And a couple of other things I wanted to show, if I can. Let me take this down for a moment because I want to do this as a share. Yeah, share. Here we go, share very quickly. All right, here we are sharing. And I set this up for soil moisture. Soil moisture, like over here, up here's Death Valley, going up towards, this is the Owens Valley. Anything from some of the gray, but the light blue, medium blue, darker blues, that's about what percentage of moisture is in the soil. Soil moisture, it's estimated from NASA satellite-based measurements for the top 100 centimeters of the soil surface. The values are updated every 6 hours. Isn't that nice? And so there's quite a bit of soil moisture at this time. We haven't had much rain. We have reservoirs. And the filling of some of the groundwater, it's way deep. It's not coming up anywhere near the surface now, but some other areas have wells and they're getting some moisture retained in their ground wells. So this is what it looks like. It's pretty high. Precipitation, it's anything above, say, medium green to blues, purple and pink is above 50% of the water year-to-date percentage. Now, the year ends in September. This is June, so maybe you'd want to see not 50%, but you might want to go above. Well, you'd want to see you're at the 9-month level. So here it's blue. Again, not that much rain, but it's blue. And this is over above Owens Valley. That's extremely dry. And this is extremely moisturizing, over 200%. That's somewhere near Lake Isabella, I think. So there's precipitation in this area. Didn't get it so much up here. Reservoirs, mainly all green, green going up to blue, even some blue down in San Diego. Snowpack, I doubt if there's much. Doesn't say much. Pretty much melted, I would guess. Groundwater. Okay, anything above, anything in the greens, blues, purples. Greens, blues, purples, groundwater level. Now it's under 10% where you get down into the reds. So when the rains come and they pour down over here over the coming decades, it's bringing the water up, bringing the water up. And you can find this. This is California Water Watch. It's updated every few hours, let alone every day. And I started off with soil moisture. So much for that one. And the other one that I wanted to bring up, let's get rid of this for the moment, is this. This is the new Congressional District Redistricting for California for 2026 election. And the area that I showed you of Cuyama Valley goes down in here. This is the greater Los Angeles County. And so this is going down this way. And there's a way to look at this. California 24th is here. And this is, all right, here's where we get down into the Cuyama Valley. It's right through here. And it does go, this is like New Cuyama, and up to Interstate 5. This is California District 24, and it covers Santa Barbara, Lower Ventura County, and up now they changed it so it's all the way up to covers some of San Luis Obispo. And it's dry, it's a desert. And this is where they're having the big water fight. I'll go back and show you because I haven't done this in a while. This is incorrect as far as Paul Ruiz is not the congressman from the 25th district. He's the congressman from the way far southeast corner of California. But this is the, well, they put that in the wrong place. Or maybe it is, but the congressperson from down south is Juliet Brownlee, California District 26th. And her district, it doesn't have a lot of it. It has a little bit of the, this is the famous Channel Islands. And this is the Chumash Heritage National Marine Sanctuary. So we're going down this Carrizo Plains. I don't think she has anything necessarily in the Cuyama Valley, unless this is part of the valley right at the northern tip. And then it goes over to I-5, 99, up to Lake Isabella, down to make the turn, and you're over Lancaster, Palmdale, Ridgecrest. Okay, this is the borderlands right here. Curious to see how this fills in, how this is going to fill in. Edwards Air Force Base is there. But Lancaster is is growing pretty much, and Ridgecrest, which is just outside, which was defunct. It was an old mining area that was defunct. It's on the edge of Edwards Air Force Base, and because of that, it has visitors and it has a hospitality region. Here's California District 27. Oh, that was wrong. 20. They've got this a little bit off. Here's George Whiteside. He's a new congressperson. And here is his district. And this is outside this is desert for sure. It's all desert. Even if there are these cities there, this is all desert. This is Santa Clarita. Newhall is right in there as well. This takes you all the way over to, these highways take you over to Highway 14. Victorville, Apple Valley is over here. And these used to be a couple of towns that were just sitting there waiting for development. And I do believe Lancaster is getting more of a build out. Like Los Angeles was going to be developed and then it fell backwards. So you can see where this whole thing is going as they work on water rights, so forth. And Congresswoman Chu, she's down to the south. She's covering mainly the San Bernardino Mountains. And maybe she gets a little desert in through here, up in here, yeah. So I'll stop there. This is a pretty good set of maps. It comes, what district am I in.com? And it's California Congressional Districts, the new ones. So I'm ending this here, and I'm ending the sharing as the window is closed. So thank you very much, did it for me. All right, so this is Sharon Pierce signing off for Near Desert Experience and a little news as to how the parties, the big parties, are weighing their investments and assets, and how the judge is weighing things, and how the minor extractors are weighing things. And it'll be interesting to see how it all plays out over time. Thank you very much. And here we go.